Have you guys done breath work? I'm kind of super into like pranayama. It's called pranayama breath work. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just YouTube random breath work videos. And because I can't do drugs anymore, it's the closest thing that I can get to drugs. Oxygen is the most vital nutrient that we can get. And if you do breath work, I swear to God, you get all tingly and feel high and amazing. Okay. So I think I'm having a midlife crisis. You know that one task you've been putting off since forever? That task is therapy. It's start therapy. And grow therapy makes it way easier to check off. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow connects you with thousands of licensed therapists across the US, virtual or in person, nights and weekends available. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some people pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. No subscriptions, no long-term commitments, just help that fits your life. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. I've had an amazing experience with Grow Therapy. I signed up, it took me 2 minutes. I then put in all my personal issues, which were a lot. And then they linked me to therapists that had experience in those areas. And I was able to book a therapist who was extremely well reviewed within 2 days, literally set up an appointment within 2 days. That whole thing took me about 10 minutes tops. Whereas before Grow Therapy, you're like, I was on with my insurance begging for lists of therapists that are actually covered. And then I get the list and then I call those therapists and then they're not available for 6 months. So visit growtherapy.com/idiot today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/idiot, growtherapy.com/idiot. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan. So I think I'm having a midlife crisis. Hear me out. It's either a I want to say mid-ish life crisis because I feel like I'm going to be a centenarian with the disgusting amount of lentils that I consume. And then I don't even know if it's a crisis. Sometimes I feel like it's a mid-ish life awakening, like a really fun one. It's not even a breakdown so much as like a sexy, whorish unraveling. It's like I'm spiraling, but my skin is glowing. I'm 39, but I feel 25 minus my hip, dude. Technically, a midlife crisis starts anywhere between 35 and 50. And so it's kind of that window where your brain suddenly goes, hey, do you remember your dreams? And you're like, yes, they all have PTSD now. Is anyone else experiencing this? Please drop a comment below. I mean, like I said, I don't actually think I'm at the midpoint of my life. I truly plan on being a centenarian because of the amount of plants I consume. But lately, I can feel something shifting. Like my inner compass is spinning and I can't tell if it's pointing towards enlightenment or a full manic episode. So I don't know. I just wanted to dive into the topic, the very interesting topic to me of a midlife crisis. So psychologists say that it's that moment that you realize you've probably lived more years than you have left and your brain starts to hit that panic button. It's not so much about regret as it is about realization. You know, it's when that autopilot turns off and you're suddenly wide awake in your own life and you're like, wait, who's flying this thing? And is this actually where I want to go? And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just in denial about getting older, or I'm just waking up. And here's some ways that it's showing up for me. For one, I got my nose pierced. Most people do that in high school. I did that at 39, right after buying a slow cooker. I also started wearing crop tops and stopped wearing bras, which is either healing my inner child or it's just like early onset delusion. I don't no. I also get a little Botox. I think that's probably because I live in Los Angeles and having wrinkles and aging is an actual crime here. You will go to jail. I bleached my hair and I'm sure it's going to be my ass next. Now, I just keep getting hit on by 20-something-year-olds, which is wild and it really feeds my ego. And it's like, I get it, but also what the fuck? I don't know. I'm not trying to judge myself and my actions. I think that what I'm going through is natural. And I also think that women have evolved. You know, we've figured out how to feel younger, how to look younger, how to act younger. I mean, my mom at 39 ran the PTA. Okay. I look like I'm making TikToks. I'm making TikToks and flirting with baristas. So it's just a different time, right? And honestly, I'm seeing it everywhere. It could be the red car theory, or it could be a movement, but I'm seeing a lot of millennial women who are so smart, spiritual, and they're kind of done pretending, right? They're done asking their husbands to go to therapy for 7 years and to pull their weight. And they, you know, the husband said no. And now they're like, cool, I'm out, I'm done. You know, I'm just seeing like more women divorcing and thriving and dating younger guys and being incredible moms and looking hot and running companies. It's not that like boomer stay and suffer energy anymore. It's like, I'd rather be alone than emotionally comatose. I'm seeing that. And maybe that looks like a midlife crisis. I don't know. I'm just seeing a little movement happening here. It could be where I live too. I don't know. And then, you know, it's also, I think I'm realizing my age physically now. Like, for example, I threw myself into some furniture for comedy, and I f***ed up my leg because I forgot that I'm not 18 anymore. I was shooting this comedy sketch the other day and I decided to do this big physical fall, like this full body prat fall at TJ Maxx, into a bunch of hard suitcases. And yeah, midway through the fall, I'm like, oh my God, I'm almost 40. I forgot. And I landed on this stack of hard suitcases. And now my hip has been in protest ever since. My hip is like, bitch, we don't do stunts anymore. Okay. We do stretching and magnesium. So it's moments like that when I realize my age. And lately I don't even know what I believe anymore. I'm having this existential midlife crisis. Like, what is marriage? I don't know. Monogamy, that's even questionable. Life partners, like I'm open. Maybe if they live in an entirely separate house. I've had these nights where, you know, I'm like, maybe I just want to grow old on a compound with all of my best friends and we'll all raise each other's kids and live off the land and be free. Doesn't that sound amazing? And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, no, actually, I want a boyfriend with a boat or like a soldier or something problematic. I don't know. I'm confused, but maybe that's what this is supposed to be. Maybe that's what this midlife crisis is. Maybe it's just the questioning. You know, I'm questioning my reality because psychologists say that a midlife crisis is your mind's way of checking in. Like, are we still living the life we actually want, or are we just performing for the one that we built? It's not a failure. It's an audit, and it's my soul saying, "Hey, bitch, you know we can still pivot, right?" And I guess that's where I'm at, because it's not like I'm sitting here feeling unaccomplished. I've actually externally done pretty much everything I wanted to do. It's just that now I'm reevaluating my priorities. I'm reevaluating what happiness means. You know, is it youth? Is it peace? Is it good day? Am I in denial about getting older, or am I finally waking up? And maybe it's both. Maybe I'm evolving and unraveling simultaneously. But I do feel grateful. I feel grateful today that I'm part of a 12-step program that gives me a design for living, because it's helping guide me through this weird, messy, hormonal, possibly perimenopausal, post-divorce, 2 kids, existential chaos. It's keeping me grounded. It's focusing me, when I want to spiral, it reminds me that love and tolerance is my code. It forces me to have a spiritual practice, to ask my higher power, what is the next right step? How can I be of service today? Um, I guess I say that because I'm just so grateful that I have a program, and because I know I can't do it alone, and I make sure I prioritize my recovery, my relationship with my higher power, my kids, and then I trust that everything else will fall into place, Like I said, I'm surrounded by women who've walked through this before me, and they're helping me through this. These old ladies in my recovery meetings with 40 plus years of recovery, they literally just yell at me and they harshly guide me and point out my stupid decisions. Whatever the opposite of sugarcoating is, that's what the they're doing to me. And I'm so grateful because I can't do this alone. So yeah, maybe I'm having a midlife crisis, or maybe it's a midlife awakening. Either way, I'm 39, I'm limping, I'm confused, I'm hot, and I'm kind of into it. Ham says, I am married, and though it's not perfect, I do feel lucky to have a supportive husband who allows me to explore myself, accepts me, and has also been growing with me. I realize not everyone has that. That's so great. I don't want to come out, I feel like I was pretty harsh in last week's episode of marriage, it's a scam. But you are probably the exception, I do see beautiful marriages. They do exist. It's just not something I'm, you know, interested in at this time. Hey, next week I could be engaged. You never know with my manic ass. Kathleen says, enjoy your midlife crisis. Why the hell not? It's actually really fun. Carol says, my husband is also dead. God damn it, Carol. Rachel says, the big question is, did you actually go to the hospital? No, bitch, I didn't. So shooting a sketch called Phone Addict, and basically the whole sketch, I'm just walking through life, ignoring everyone on my phone, ignoring my children, ignoring my boyfriend, walking into oncoming traffic, walking into a store and walking into a, big thing of suitcases. And I fell hard, dude. Whatever. The sketch is being edited now. Yeah. Sketch is being edited now. Anyway, that's what's happening with me. Oh my God. And another part of midlife crisis is parents getting older. How are you dealing with your parents getting older? Because I'm struggling, dude. And I'm like the master of suppression. I will suppress that shit, dude, and make jokes about it and move on because I don't want to feel the pain of it and the sadness of the reality that we are most likely going to outlive our parents. It's really fucking sad. And I don't like it. My dad has alcoholic induced dementia, and it's just getting worse. And I'm in such fear that one day, I'm in fear of the inevitable, that one day I'm going to wake up and he's not going to know who I am. He's not going to know who his wife of 50 years is. Even when he was here last time, he was on the piano and he would always play the Beatles song. Da 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 da. You know what I'm talking about? That song. What is it called again? Anyway, he couldn't play it. He just kept playing the first two keys and just stopping because, he's losing that ability. And then my mom calls me the other day and she's like, Dad lost his job. And I know what you're thinking. How the is he still working? And none of us know. It was not good. I mean, we're grateful that he is not working because he shouldn't have been. He's just not that far along in his disease. So that was the one thing that he loved to do was work with machines. And it was like his muscle memory was still there. He was still able to do it. But then towards the end, he would call my mom on the way home being like, where am I going again? It was like that. So it was getting really scary, but he was just so strong willed and would not quit. But basically he got let go. And I said, well, what happened? And she said, he doesn't remember. Like he doesn't remember. And I keep calling the work to try and figure it out. And they're not getting back to me, but he doesn't remember. And then every morning he thinks he's going to work. And she has to remind him that he lost his job. And it's so sad, dude. It's so sad. And my mom has some health issues too that I can't even say them out loud because it's too sad. It's too sad. Me no like sad. Me like happy. Me like happy, happy. Me no like sad. But life is suffering. I get it, and I need to work on just allowing myself to feel the sadness. Even my mom, dude, she'll make jokes about my dad's dementia. Like we'll laugh about the absurdity of the disease because if we don't, we're just going to cry, And I do think laughter is a really healthy coping mechanism. I probably just take it too far. Cassandra says dark humor is healing. I agree. It is, dude. I just also need to experience the pain for a minute, so I don't hold it in. But yes, dude, you got to laugh. So I wonder how you guys are dealing with your parents aging, or have they passed, and how did you cope? Because it's just another goddamn part of it. But on a more positive note, my son is killing it right now. Of course, my daughter is too. But my son, who's 6 years old and on the spectrum, every single time he is ill, he goes through a regression, as many kids on the spectrum do. And they lose their words, their ability to self-regulate. They have triple, quadruple the meltdowns. Their behavior can be pretty bizarre and unsettling and scary. And it was about a month of that. It was pretty traumatic for everyone. But I'm happy to say the boy is killing it. He's so happy. All of his words have come back once again. He's back to sitting on my shoulders. And yes, he's a massive 6-year-old who sits on my shoulders as I get ready in the morning. He now counts to 150 when he's on my shoulders, sings to me the months of the year, the days of the week. He's has way more spontaneous language, just all came back. He's able to self-regulate. He's not breaking shit. He's not chucking printers on the ground at school. He's just back making that eye contact, communicating, connecting with his sister. He even will bring his 4-year-old sister Elsa dresses every morning and say, "Put on Elsa dress, puppy. Put on Elsa dress, puppy." He loves when she dresses like a princess, and he brings her princess outfits to wear. And then when she puts them on, he chases her around and they just play together. And it's the best thing in the whole world ever. So I'm very happy about that. Now I know, just like with the bad stuff, this too shall pass. The good stuff does too. I think lessons I learned were when my son specifically displays any sort of symptoms, take him straight to the doctor. Because if I'm honest, he had some symptoms, a low-grade fever, and wasn't well in very, very early September. And they say, give it 24 hours, give it 24 hours. And so I gave it the 24 hours and he seemed better. But looking back, I think that he was fighting strep that whole time. And then I took him in the second week in September to the doctor because it became clear that he was back fevering and not well. But I think it just for my kid on the spectrum, any sort of symptoms, he's got to go straight and get tested for everything and treat it right away. Cause that was so intense. It was Insane. Therapy in this economy? Yes, it's possible. Just ask the 1 million+ people who've already found care with Grow Therapy. It's therapy that's insurance friendly. What a concept! It's flexible and it fits real life. No subscriptions, no long-term contracts. Whether it's your first time trying therapy or you've been there before, if you follow me, you need it. And Grow helps you find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of licensed independent therapists across the US and offer both virtual and in-person sessions. You don't even need pants. With availability on nights and weekends too. There's nothing like a Saturday night therapy sesh. You can search by insurance, specialty, identity, or schedule and get started in as little as 2 days. Cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. If you've got insurance, you might already have therapy coverage and not even know it. Sessions average about $21, and some people pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Look, maybe you don't need to figure everything out today. Maybe you just need someone to talk to. I certainly do, and my friends are sick of hearing about my and sometimes they give me the worst advice ever. So I like to talk to a professional every single week. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Visit growtherapy.com/idiot to get started. That's growtherapy.com/idiot. growtherapy.com/idiot. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan. So next topic, lasering my vagina. Has anyone lasered their vagina or their butt? Anyone done that? Is this part of my midlife crisis? I kind of want to laser my butt. Is this a midlife crisis? Here's my problem with, yeah, it's laser hair removal. Yes. I want to laser my bikini area because it's annoying to shave, right? We put on a swimsuit, it's annoying. So I want to laser that because I don't want to shave anymore. That's annoying. And waxing has always gave me like the weird rash or whatever when you wax. So I don't want to do that. But the thing is, if you laser all of it, what if you regret being fully hairless? You know what I'm saying? Because that's weird. Like I think like a fully hairless vagina. That's your baby. That's your little baby. That's baby. Huh? Why you want to be baby down there? Why you want to be baby down there? Why not be big girl down there? Why you be baby goo goo gaga vagina? And just like culturally, we've just, yeah, that's, you just shit. What? And vaginas are very complex. You got to pull and you got to shit position. You got to do it's a whole thing. This is not simple work. This is complex work that women are just expected to do. To look like baby down here? Why you want to look like baby down there? So if I laser everything, I'm going to regret it and go, I want to be a woman. I don't want to be baby down here. So here's my plan. What if it feels cleaner? Don't be a freak, Laura. I don't know if that's being a freak. I just think I like to have a little bit of hair down there, but I want to laser the bikini and maybe the butt. I want to like laser my butt. But I don't necessarily want to laser everything. Or what if you laser everything once and then it'll grow back finer and thinner and then only laser the bikini in the butthole. Baby Jenny. Rochelle says, I'm tired of shaving. I'm ready for the full 70s bush. Slay, Rachel. Rochelle. Slay it. My butt is not hairy. It's just a little, there's just a little hair there. Not that I'm looking. Not that I'm looking in the mirror at my butt. Hey, first of all, if you think that I'm going into my mirror and you think that I'm spreading cheek and looking at my own butt anus, you're sick. That's sicko. That's sick, gross, not me. So stop saying that. If you think that I'm going in the mirror and looking at what my butt looks like on a Tuesday afternoon, you're nasty. That's certainly not something I've ever done. That's not what I'm doing. That's not how I'm spending my time. I'm busy and looking at my butt anus is not something that I'm doing. So get your mind out of my anus, please. I like to look at my butt. A healthy amount, but I just want to see what's going on down there. You know? Stop talking about my butt. Ugh. Did you guys get hemorrhoids when you were pregnant? What's up with that? Samantha says, my hemorrhoids have hemorrhoids, to be honest. I love that. I love that for you, Samantha. Anyone else have geriatric pregnancies? Wait, I want to know, when do geriatric pregnancies start? What age? I think it's like 34. Oh, 35. Okay. So I had my two kids at 32 and 34. And I'm not saying I want another kid. Right now, the idea is disgusting. You want to know how I know that? I look at babies now and I go, ugh. I go, get the away from me. I look at moms with their babies and I go, oh, I feel so bad for her. I feel terrible. And they could be having the best time. Like the mom could just be like, so just in love, breastfeeding, just. And I'm like, oh, that's disgusting. And I feel terrible for that mom. Her life must be horrific. And I'm so happy I'm not there. I feel like that's how I know I don't want another child. Because there was a time where I would see a mother and her baby and I would be like, oh, and my boobs would get tingly. Like I would actually start lactating just from seeing a baby cry. And I would want to snuggle it. And now I just look and I go, oh, that's horrible. That's horrible that there's a baby there with her mom. That's a tragedy. Like, cause I just know her ass husband's at home jacking off or like just not waking up in the middle of the night. Like I just know her ass husband is sleeping through the night and she's waking up because she looks tired as and she's waking up with the baby at 2 a.m. and then 4 a.m. and then 6 a.m. I just know. You know, and she's like expected to pay some bills too and like cook. And I'm just like, no, bitch. Again, I'm sure there's some men out there who are waking up, feeding, paying all the bills, cooking dinner. I just don't know where these unicorns lie. Carol says, my sister had twins at 42. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. That's kind of like all I have for today. It's not that much. My hip is I think I'm going to go to the doctor and be smarter, you know? Yeah, that's what's going on. Please see a doctor, Sarah says. All right. Fine, I will. But if I see a doctor and they say there's something wrong, then suddenly there's something wrong. And I like to live in denial, remember? I know you all told me. So, okay, guys, if you don't know, I stream my podcast episodes on my Patreon. So if you want to interact with me during the filming of my podcast, join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Laura Clary. That's patreon.com/Laura Clary. Come live with me, connect with me. We also do Zooms where I get to see your face and we get to have awesome meetings and book clubs and community. They're amazing women in this Patreon, and I'd love to have you. Oh, and I should end on this. I have a meeting with with a company that wants to make the lip line, but I haven't pitched to them the concept. So that's going to happen, I think, at 2:00 today. Fingers crossed. Girls, slay, afterbirth, skid mark, liner, here we come. Yes, you were asking that earlier. Yeah, we had to push it for some my kid stuff. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Stain. Thank you, Stephanie. I won't forget. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload an episode. Y'all are amazing, and I can't wait to see you and chat to you next. All right. Bye, you little bitches.